All right, you primitive screwheads, listen up.
Well, I got a burr under my saddle.
We talk, you listen.
Somebody that's going to take an innocent life is not mentally insane?
You know them.
Time to nut up or shut up.
You love to hate them.
It's the Denton and Sasquatch Show.
You're not good, kid.
Can I bring my AR-15 next time?
Sure.
Yes.
This place is half talk show, half weird daycare. I love it.
You can't handle the truth.
Hello and welcome once again to the Denton and Sasquatch Show, coming to you from California and Alabama. I'm here in California. My name is Sasquatch. He's there in Alabama. His name is Denton, and I hope he can breathe.
I can not only breathe, I can cough, I can sniff.
Wow, it's
I can't laugh.
Miraculous recovery. Oh, you can't laugh? Well, then don't worry about it because the show's not funny.
Okay, good, because I cannot laugh. I'm telling you, it's okay. We'll let everybody else know what's going on. Not this Saturday. This is Monday. Not this past Saturday, but the Saturday beforehand. I worked overtime, and so I got home about 10:40 something. Anyway, it seemed to be a good, because normal people, they come home and they do things, right?
Typically, yes.
Yeah. Well, so anyway, some stuff needed to be watered. Now I have. My garden, because where I live, is in stock tanks.
All right.
Those large circular galvanized steel things that you put farmers, whoever, put water or feed in.
Yes, because you have crappy soil.
Well, that and, I live in a neighborhood, so, people get mad when you go tear up the grass and you plant stuff. Anyway, so, I thought, this is a good time to water stuff, and I called it incremental stupidity. Probably should have waited till the sun was up. When I thought to myself, I need to put my headlight on, which is in my bag, my work bag, in the car, and said, nah, I'm not going to be doing this that long. But if I had done that, I'd have seen that bag of dirt, and I wouldn't have tripped on it. Okay. You ever thrown a cat in the air?
A few times, yes.
Yeah, you know how they writhe and they twist to get their body back in place where they can land on their feet?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, my body was doing something like that, but it didn't work out as well for me as it would have for a cat. And when I fell on the rim of galvanized, one of those stock tanks.
Ooh.
Yeah. Now, my body said, this is a bad position. Do something now. So then I go writhing around on the stock tank, and I got hurt my back and everything, and then I flop back on my front, and then my brain says, stop, idiot, you ain't doing nothing right here. So I stopped, and now I'm low crawling because I couldn't back up. I'm low crawling out of the stupid stock tank, filling up the pockets with dirt. Anyway, so that was Saturday evening. Sunday, I couldn't sleep with the spit. I'm a recliner with my laptop, watching YouTube videos. Thought about watching Denton Sasquatch Show, but I thought, got time for that crap.
Boring.
And then, exactly. And you know how YouTube will say, recommended for you?
Yep.
Well, there's Bill Engvall, the comedian.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I already know where this is going, but...
Yeah, I click on that. It was the show where his doctor recommends him to smoke or take marijuana for insomnia.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you ever saw that one.
I don't remember it, but yeah.
I smiled a couple of times. Then there's a couple of mild chuckles, and then there's that screaming, cackling laughter. When that's invoked, that's like, wow, that was funny. Except for I did that laugh, that deep laugh, and then all of a sudden I screamed in a pitch that no male should be able to hit after 12 years old. Okay? And that crossed me as funny, so I started laughing again, which drove me back to the scream. Okay, and then I'm trying to calm myself down by breathing, which, if you've never broken any ribs, breathing, the simple act of breathing hurts. Okay,
yeah.
I'm thinking, I'm going to die right here and now. Anyway, that was Sunday. Monday, I decided I'm going to go to work. what would John Wayne do, Pilgrim? So I go to work. I made it half a day. Fine, I can pull this off Tuesday. I can do it again, but I'm going to make a doctor's appointment. So I make a doctor's appointment Tuesday before I go to work, and then I go to work. I made it till 8:30. Now, keep in mind, I get off at 10. So not bad. I just couldn't quite make it. So I go to the doctor Wednesday, and she says, well, how did you do this? Gardening. Wait, say what? So that's why we weren't on the air last week. Sorry, guys, my bad. I'll try not to do it again. But I can tell you this right now. If you've never broken a rib, fractured, it's fractures. They didn't break in two, they're fractured. I have, let's see, I've had 2 concussions. I had my nose broken several times. One time I had the nose almost ripped off. I cracked my sternum. I broke one wrist, I should say. I crushed the other wrist. Broke arm. Chipped a bone in my leg.
And that was all just from the first wife.
Cracking a rib is the most intense pain I've had so far.
Yeah, it hurts like an SOB.
So I suggest you do not do that. If you're just trying to find out your threshold of pain, understand that's going to be there. So don't go there. That was my public service announcement for the night.
Well, if you'd like to send well wishes to Denton, you can always do so at dentonandsasshow@gmail.com, or you can comment on our YouTube channel.
Or you can go to prepperforms.net, where we usually kind of trash around there. And there's even I started a thread. What do I call it? Ever broke a rib or something like that?
Yeah, you ever have cracked ribs or something like that? Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it's probably dropped off the active threads thing anyway. But yeah, that's where you can contact us. Or you can call Sasquatch's phone number and leave him a message of deep breathing. He loves it.
I'll deep
You want to
breathe
give
back.
us well, I can breathe deeply now, so don't try to get me.
All right.
I just can't laugh. So anyway, there you go. You got something to start off with?
Well, yeah, speaking of my phone number, I wanted to do... This is something we've never done on the show before, so kind of a department from our normal stuff. But I wanted to do sort of a Yelp review on my phone, and not really the phone, but the actual service. I have Verizon, so I just wanted to relay a little story I've had about my service. In case any of you out there have Verizon or you're thinking about getting Verizon, you might want to listen to my story first.
I'm listening because I have Verizon.
All right, well... A long time ago, I got me the Galaxy S5, which is Android.
That's funny.
Why is that?
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
Oh, da-dum-dum.
Sorry.
So I had that phone for a very long time because every time it came out, I'm not one of these people that has to get the new phone every time it comes out. I really just don't care. Every time it came out, it had new stuff that I would never use, so what's the point of getting one? So I had this thing, and I think they were to like the Galaxy S10 by the time. So, when you get a phone, it comes with apps on it that you cannot take off. I mean, you can put your own apps on, but it also has ones that you can't take off. Well,
right.
Mine kept getting filled like it was running out of storage space. So I did everything. I got rid of pictures, I got rid of apps, I got rid of everything. And this thing kept telling me, oh, well, you're out of storage. I mean, there were a couple apps that I kept that I wanted, I wanted to keep. Every time the update thing would happen, it would say, oh, no, you don't have enough storage to update these. But then it would turn around and update the apps that I didn't want on the phone. So if it didn't have storage for the ones I did want, how did it have storage for the ones I didn't want?
Now, is that a Verizon problem, or is that the problem with that particular phone?
No, I think it's a Verizon problem. I don't know. Maybe I don't know a lot about phones, so maybe it is a problem with the phone. But anyway, so I ended up having to get a new phone because I was running out of storage constantly. So I went down to the old Verizon store and looked around, and of course they were on the S10 by now, and they all wanted me to buy the S10. I don't want the S10. Oh, yeah, but we can get you a deal, and it's great, and it'll turn around and glow for you and do all this stuff. I'm like, I don't need that. I don't want that. So I settled on the S7 because it was the cheapest one, and I'm a cheap bastard. So I get that. But as I'm getting it, the guy in the store, he's looking over my what do you call it?
Your account?
Yeah, my account. There you go. And he goes, well, I'm looking here, and it says that you got X amount of data, but you don't ever go over it or even come close to it. So why don't you step down to the next one down, and it'll save you, $15, $20 a month. I was like, sweet. All right, cool, buddy. Thanks. So he sends me down. So all is good. Not a problem. Then a little while later, I get this little thing saying, you have overused your data, so we are charging you $15 for, another gig of data or whatever. All right, maybe I was looking on my phone a little more than I normally do that month. No big deal. And then every few months, it started doing it again. Well, this month, I get my phone bill, and it's $200. Normally, it's, I don't know, $98, $100, something like that. But they've overcharged me so many times because I've been going over data, which I know I haven't because I've been working a lot lately, and I haven't had time to go on my phone and dick around. But also, my phone has been updating. I've gotten probably 5 updates in the last 2 weeks. Just every time I turn around, it's like, oh, it's time for your phone to update. Well, my phone's doing these weird things where the other day I click onto it, and it says, oh, your phone's in airplane mode. I didn't put it in airplane mode. So then I also find out that, I forget the reason why, but I click through it and find out my Wi-Fi is off. So obviously, if my Wi-Fi is not using the Wi-Fi at my house, it's using data. So that's probably why my data's over. But I didn't turn it off.
Yeah, so my phone will not update if it's not connected to Wi-Fi. It has to be connected to Wi-Fi, and it has to be plugged in.
Well, I mean, mine's been updating. I allow it to update because I'm like, well, I guess if it needs an update, I got to do it. Because you know how it says, oh, you can wait for an hour or for 24 hours. So I'll do it. I'll set it so it updates at 4 a.m. when I'm asleep. Mm-hmm. But it updates. But I'm thinking, okay, well, this new stupid thing, and like I'm not getting texts. In fact, one of my friends, it was his 50th birthday. He sends me a text and says, hey, we're having a little get-together at my house for my 50th birthday. I never saw it because you know how a text alerts you when you get a text? Mm-hmm. It never did. So I never saw it until after his birthday party when he was like, hey, dude, kind of upset you didn't come to my birthday. I'm like, what birthday? Then I go back and look at my text. There it is.
Well, I've been wondering why you were ignoring me, by the way.
Well, that's just because I don't like you. Oh. But no, so anyway, I get sick of this. So today, I went after work, I went to the Verizon store, and I'm thinking on the way over there, because I wanted to go in there and just start bashing heads. But I'm thinking, okay, these goobers that work in there for $12 an hour or whatever, it's not their fault. It's Verizon's fault. So the store is completely empty, and there's 3 of them sitting in there on their phones, of course. So the guy says, how can I help you? I said, well, I'd like to figure out why my phone bill is $200 this month. Okay, let me have your information. I give it to him. He runs it through, and he's like, well, yeah, you overused your data. I said, I know that. I said, but I haven't been using my data, so I shouldn't have overused my data. So he starts looking through and hemming and hawing, and he's looking at his computer, and it takes him forever. Finally, he says to me, well, you got a couple options here. Option 1, you could give us $150 and we could upgrade you to a new phone. Or option 2, we can give you this new data plan that gives you unlimited data, but it's like $40 more than what you're paying now. But you have unlimited data.
What did you do?
I said, well, thank you for your time. I will be talking to corporate about this because apparently you don't know how to handle this except to try to upsell me. And I left.
I have Verizon, and I don't have a problem. Now, I haven't used Android in many years. My son told me I need to go. Actually, no, it wasn't my son. It was the salesman at Verizon at the store. He sold me on an iPhone. And he was so slick that I didn't realize until I was in my car driving away that he basically said, you know what? You're old and too stupid to understand technology. You need something simple. Use this iPhone. It's made for anybody. Now, my phone will not update unless it's on Wi-Fi and plugged in. Mm-hmm. I don't have any of these problems. Now, I'll tell you, I do have this past pay cycle, I did run out of data. Okay, and so I had to pay $15 more. And the reason why is because I taught my parents, my elderly parents, are on my plan. I got them a phone, so when they leave, if they fall and they can't get back up, they can call me. I showed my mother the ways of the YouTube. And she was YouTubing so much that I got a notification while I was at work. You're at 98% or whatever.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, crap. Okay, I'm not using my phone, not calling anybody, no texting, nothing. I just set it aside. And even so, when I got home, as I'm driving home, I got another message that says, you just went over. We're going to charge you another $15. Well, my mother also got that notification, and she sent me a text. Is everything okay? We got a notification that we're over data. What is that?
Yeah, well, a couple months ago, I got one of those, and that one was me because Hot Nursey's daughter grabs my phone and watches her little YouTube videos or plays little games or whatever. So I knew I was using more data that month, which is fine. I was happy to pay the $15 overage. But this month, I get a $200 bill, and she has not touched my phone in probably a month. Mm-hmm. Not because I don't let her. It's just because I've been working so much, I haven't been around for her to touch my phone.
And that's not euphemism for anything. You mean your phone?
Yes, my actual phone. Why would I talk? We're talking about a little girl here. You creep.
Hey, Joe Biden, okay?
Although, you know what? I got to say, I went to a birthday party this weekend that was Michael Jackson themed, and they had a piñata. This is for a 12-year-old girl, too. They had a piñata, and I don't know. It was very satisfying to watch these little kids beat the hell out of a piñata of Michael Jackson. But anyway, yeah. So this kid, his only advice to me was to upsell me. I'm having a problem. I'm paying too much for my phone, but here, pay more, and it'll fix the problem. Okay, well, Chad, or whatever the hell your name was, F you, for one. And for two, I am going to write corporate and say, look, this is my situation. I know I haven't been using that much data. Something's wacky with your phone. What are you going to do about it? So I will update you and let you know what Verizon says.
Well, we're looking forward to that. Now, I will say this. Okay, I have no problem with Verizon. What I don't understand, now the reason why I went to Verizon is because I live in South Alabama, all right? And I go down to Florida, I go to Panama City, Pensacola, and that kind of stuff. And a lot of the roads I take are rural. So I want to have a carrier that is everywhere. I used to have Sprint, and they wouldn't make it to Panama City. There's a lot of places where there are gaps there where I had no reception whatsoever. And I called them about that, and they said, yeah, we are very good in cities, but outside of cities, we're not very good. Okay. Well, all right. Well, I guess that's the way it is. And then they offered me something, a discount or whatever. And I said, well, what good is a discount if it doesn't work? Because back then I was diving a lot. I would drive down to Panama City and I'd go diving. And, I had a 99 Taurus back then. I didn't, it was a good car, but you never know when it's going to break down. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I said, what good is a discount if I can't call for assistance? Yeah, that's great as a discount. They'll do anything to keep you with them. Well, so that's why I have Verizon for that reason. But you live in a big city.
Well, plus they charge you double if you're calling from under the water, so that's probably why they were screwing with you.
Well, that's probably so.
No, but I go out hiking.
somewhere else.
I go out hiking and camping a lot where they don't. That's why I had Verizon too, because you get coverage more than say Sprint or T-Mobile or one of these other ones. So that's why I had and currently have Verizon. But we'll see what happens.
Okay, well, I'm going to try to be your technical assistant here. Excuse me, sir. Are you sure your computer is plugged in?
You sure your phone's plugged in?
Yeah. Now, in your settings, like I said, it's been a long time since I used Android, but in your settings, can you set things for, don't update unless it's Wi-Fi available or something like that?
I suppose so. I haven't gone through and looked.
You may want to look at that. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. My son's one that's the geek in the family, and so I just throw my phone at him when he's in town. I say, "Hey, set it up for this, that, and whatever." So I can't tell you why my phone does that, but it may be that you can set this thing up where it's not going to be doing that unless it's Wi-Fi'd.
Well, that's great, but it shouldn't do it anyways, and I shouldn't have to pay an extra $100 on my bill because it's screwing up.
Well, to them, it's not screwing up. You just don't know how to use your phone.
Well, I'm about to say screw it and go to one of these other carriers and just get me a flip phone. So,
A flip phone.
Yep, I'm going old school.
Yeah, they still make them. Yeah, as a matter of fact, when I was in the Air Force Reserve still, one night, one Saturday night, we believe it or not, the reserves drink when the sun goes down.
The hell you say?
Yeah, and this one guy was just blitzed, and he's showing me this phone. I can't remember, it's a G phone, I think it is. G something other. And he's showing me this, and he says, "It could do this, dude, it could do this and everything. And it's indestructible." He stood up and he threw it up in the air to show me that it will survive impact.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he didn't find it till the next day.
That's funny.
Yeah, so they do make good flip phones still. So, there you go. That's an option. Well, did you know that Donald Trump is going to kill millions of people?
Well, yeah. Democrats been telling me that forever.
Well, Brian, what's that little bastard's name? Brian Stelter?
I don't know. Who is he?
Some CNN. He's a little dweeb. I mean, if you look at him his face has a face that you want to punch.
He oozes dweebness.
Yeah. And he was interviewing a psychiatrist. The guy's name is Dr. Alan Francis. Okay, this cat says, Francis said, "I've known thousands of patients. Almost all of them have been well-behaved, well-mannered, good people. Trump is none of these. Lumping the mentally ill with is a terrible insult, and they have enough problems and stigma. It is." I'm reading this. Okay, just God dang, I just want to kill people. Calling Trump crazy.
Red flagged. You're red flagged.
Yeah, probably right.
You just said you wanted to kill people. Red flag.
Metaphorically speaking. Now, and which brings us to this. This cat says Trump may have killed more people than Hitler and Mao. 24 to 45 million people were killed under Mao regime. Hitler was responsible for the deaths of 20 million people. Donald Trump is going to kill more people than Mao and Hitler.
Well, it's possible, because if Trump wins again and the Democrats all die of heart attacks, then maybe he will.
First off, CNN is not a news source anymore. Brian Stelter, his name's Brian Stelter. He's not a journalist. He's not a reporter. He is nothing but a propagandist. And let's stop and think. Other than killing off the Democrats when their hearts give out when he wins the second term, exactly how is he going to kill all these people?
Well, I'll tell you what. If I were a Jew, I'd be insulted by him saying that, since my people went through the Holocaust, and now they're saying that, oh yeah, this Trump guy is going to kill as many people as that were in the Holocaust. Be like, well, now you're just
Not to mention
downplaying the Holocaust.